out of my window every day. This matters to me personally. I don't live in Greenville, I don't live in Savannah. I'm not trying to make a buck. I'm trying to live in my home in the best environment I possibly can. First, I want to tell you that I fully support R1 zoning for this property. That's before you for third reading. That has been studied by the county multiple times. Planning Commission has approved it multiple times, and this council has approved it twice. I encourage you to stay the course, finish the job, zone this property as R1. But I also want to talk about this PUD request that's come behind the R1 zoning. Your code of ordinance says that a PUD is to promote the most appropriate use. It's hard for me to see how your staff, your planning commission, and this council could have spent a year saying that R1 was the appropriate use for this property, to then, an hour later, say, no, a bunch of apartments and retention ponds is the proper use for this property. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't it make sense? It's dangerous. This plan that they've proposed, it's got a retention pond 5 feet from the street. There's no sidewalk, there's no curb, there's no gutter, there's nothing, except an acre-large retention pond 5 feet from the street. You say, well, what's the problem there? Well, the problem is, this is what happens 5 feet from the street, right there. Flipped upside down cars, they'd have drowned. Drove through a brick fence, they'd have drowned. This person unfortunately did die, drove off the road. All of these are well more than 5 feet off of that road and happened in my front yard this year. It's not safe, it's not the right use, it's not the right place for this. If they want to build an R1 development, have at it. You won't hear a word from me ever again. That this is not the best use for this property. I encourage you to vote R1 and to not vote in favor of the PUD designation. Thank you.
Name for the record. I'm Will Talabas. Before I really get started into most of what I have to say, I just wanted to give a little personal touch to what my feelings are in this matter. And this is as much to the community as it is to the council. I feel that when this was all done, the Talabas family will be the biggest loser in this. The neighborhood gets what they want. The developer most likely will win his lawsuit. No skin off y'all's back. You know, you got your taxpayers and the insurance to back you up. So in the end, the Talabas family is who loses. This has been an extremely stressful and disappointing process. To have a community actively work to harm your family is undescribable. A community that 5 generations of Talabas grew up in. I grew up and went to school with some in the neighborhood, do business with some in the neighborhood. Many knew about this development. Matter of fact, 2 of them that knew about it signed the petition against it. And I'm sure at some point in time we'll figure out who those are. Last month after the meeting, I drove around and looked at all the Bruce Lee Foundation buildings. My grandfather was a founding member of the foundation. Every one of those buildings has his name on it. He was most proud to be part of that foundation because of the community focus that they have. And that's pretty obvious when you ride around and look at these properties. I engaged in this opportunity because it helped the community along with the Talabas family. Yes, there was financial benefit for us. Again, to have a local government to throw out property rights and to conspire with members of the community to stop the process is very disappointing. I will continue to fight for what's best for my family, probably with a little less regard for the surroundings in the future. I'm here to speak today on 2 ordinances that affect my property. 36, 20, 22, 23, which owns the property R1. I'm against this. And then also, I'm speaking in favor of 2022, which owns the property PD or PD-22-1. And I urge you to vote yes during its second reading. Unfortunately, what I suspect will happen today is that you'll vote in favor of R1 zoning. And then you'll amend the PD zoning to send it back to the planning commission. I hope I'm wrong, because the planning commission voted 4-1 for the PD zoning. And my property is the only donut hole property that went through the planning staff technical review. A review that included county stormwater engineers, city stormwater engineers, South Carolina DOT engineers, the planning department staff, the developer staff's engineers, and the property owner. The planning staff recommended the PD zoning to the planning commission. So my belief is the only reason this is getting opposition from the neighborhood is solely this affordable housing. Why do I think this? Early on, the developer was told from the neighborhood that both neighborhoods would oppose any affordable development of any kind. They stated that they would accept townhome communities similar to Wren Creek. This type of development would have the same traffic patterns and numbers and would also require stormwater basins similar to Jessamine. In one of the planning commission meetings, a prominent leader in the community said he did not oppose affordable housing, just not on this property. And that there are other better locations across 5 Points. Just listen to the words. I'm for it, but just not on this property. I'm okay with it, but not in my neighborhood. I'm good with it, I just don't want them as my neighbors. Certainly sounds like classism to me. At the last county council meeting, the speaker said that they're not opposed to affordable housing, and that I could build affordable housing on the property as R1. That's 3 houses. That's 3 families. Why would a true supporter of affordable housing want to limit residents to 3 instead of using the land to serve more families with the Jessamine development? And finally, social media comments regarding this development have been downright embarrassing for Florence and clearly reflective of opposition rooted in classism. It is pretty clear at this point that there was a targeted effort to damage this project, and one that would cost the Talavas family millions of
Cut
dollars.
you off, I gave you 7 minutes instead of 5.
I mean, this is a big deal to me and
It's
my
all a
family.
big deal to everybody, so.
Can I get 30 seconds, please?
All right, but wrap it up.
I have not joined any lawsuits, however, this increasingly seems like the only option. I've been to every county council member meeting, and I've respectfully stayed for the entire meeting. I request again that you vote in favor of 3922 planning. This is the chance to right the ship and get a development that's good for Florence. Don't let other members care more about their social circles and their needs than their needs of the community influence you. Make Florence better. Don't accept being the heart of the I-95 corridor. Don't accept 1960s values. Do not let your legacy be on the losing side of the Civil Rights and Fair Housing Act lawsuit.